Several religious organizations have resumed live music in their worship services as part of a pilot program. At the same time, all religious organizations have raised the limit for congregational services to 100 people. We visit 2 temples to find out more about the safety measures in place.
Live music is ringing through this prayer hall in the central Sikh temple, something that hasn't been heard there for nearly 6 months, mainly to contain the spread of Covid-19. As the number of new cases eases up, religious organizations are slowly being allowed to resume more services. The temple is one of 16 places involved in a pilot to resume live music. In line with safety measures, only 2 musicians are unmasked and they're seated a distance away from worshippers. Previously, the musicians would be in a separate room and the music streamed to worshippers on these screens.
It is not the same. Live streaming is something that they can also be in the house and listen to, and watch it. But the presence in the temple, when it's live singing, they feel a totally different sense of satisfaction and spirit and spiritualism.
All religious organizations are now also allowed to host congregational services for up to 100 people, with strict safe management measures in place. For example, worshippers are split into 2 zones with separate entrances and exits. Over at the Singapore Buddhist Lodge, devotees chanted sutras led by monks in person.
So live chanting is different, you more concentrate on that, you see.
现场的那个 environment 是 totally different.
Devotees are encouraged to make an appointment if they wish to pray at the temple, and those without a booking may be held at a waiting area if the temple has reached capacity. There is also no sharing of religious articles.
We actually encourage them to use the projected screen to read the sutras instead of but in case they really need the sutra, then every one of them actually has their own. So we have the name tag onto those so that there is no sharing.
The government will monitor and review the outcome of the new measures before it decides on the next step. Meanwhile, applications have opened for organizations that want to hold worship services for up to 250 people. But they'll first have to prove that they have safely conducted services for 100 people.